welcome to another episode of Mildly Informed with me, Richie Firth, him, Chris Skinner. You won't have any idea how eager we are to get talking to you today.
I always think it's better to start talking after someone has pressed record. But, you know, call me a maverick.
Such is how I'm ready to combust, just to be able to review my week and hopefully leave our audience mildly informed. Chris, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. I have to say, there's been one thing on my mind all week, and it's actually extended now, living rent-free in the heads of many of my friends, as I've told them about you becoming a groundsman and them having as many questions as me. How's the groundsmanship going?
I've not been up there since last week.
Why?
Because me and the other member of the grounds committee decided that we didn't think the grass would have grown enough in the last week for us to go and deserve mowing it for 3 hours.
Okay, look, I can tell you, as an allotment here, I can tell you the growth of the plant is no reason not to just go along and potter. You can just... There's always going to be something to play with, something to tweak, something to move around. There's got to be some goalposts that need polishing.
Well, now, on that side of things, new goalposts are coming within the next couple of weeks, and I'm putting aside a Sunday to go and erect those. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, I'll be up there this weekend because I've got a match. So I'll be able to see how things are looking this weekend and fully expect to be there on Monday and Wednesday next week, probably mowing.
Can I ask what material the goalposts will be made of?
The goalposts will be pretty standard metallic goalposts, but there'll be these new sort of like roll-on, roll-off ones, which are much easier if you are maintaining a sports pitch like we are, because then you don't have to mow around posts that are permanently in the ground. Just move them out of the way, just mow.
Yeah, I've seen them in my local park. Rich, what a wonderful life you live.
It is, but that's not all that I want to tell you about this week, Chris.
Well, Rich, let's actually talk about something you have bothered to do.
Chris, this week I've done one of the most rewarding and satisfying housework jobs. Now, I'm a modern man. And I contribute around the house more than I would say your average man does. I run the laundry. That's not the task that I want to talk about, though, but I run the laundry in this house. I do all the washing. I do all the hanging up of washing. I do all of the putting away of said washing. If it's washing, it's me. I stack the dishwasher. That's another one of my tasks. I won't let anyone else put something in the dishwasher because I don't think anyone does it as well as I do. I don't know why you're shaking your head at me like this.
People who get weird about dishwashers, that's a whole 30-minute show, mate. And I get a sense that you get weird about dishwashers. So let's just move on. Carry on.
I don't get weird about dishwashers. What I do get insistent about is that they're stacked correctly. And so many people just stick stuff in, slapdash, haphazard. I reckon I could fit in 30% more in a dishwasher than your average person. But that's by the by.
But do you need to? Just live your life. Just move on. Stack it the best you can. There's no one way to do it. Load some stuff up. Move on. Stress about something else.
Of course you need to stack it effectively. You've seen what climate change is doing, Chris. You don't want to be putting that thing on more than you need to be. So if you can get stuff in rather than doing an extra run.
Since I stopped getting weird about the dishwasher and stopped overloading it and stopped intricately trying to put certain things in certain places, and just accepted that sometimes it technically might be 70% full. Not only have I been a happier person, but I've not had to run things through twice because there's been lots of space. And I think if you're talking about the environment, that's a better solution.
Let's talk about oven cleaning because that's what I want to
move on. I said I didn't want to get into this. You're the one who dragged us in.
I cleaned the oven this week, Chris, and I think that is one of the most rewarding, satisfying, and amazing household tasks to do. Have you ever used Oven Pride?
I think I have done this like literally once and was like, I'm out.
What did you not like about it, Chris? I think I was trying to boil down what I enjoyed about cleaning the oven. First of all, any task where you have to put on marigold gloves and make sure that no part of your skin is exposed whatsoever, and any task where they say this must be disposed of properly, any task where you've got to leave it to do its stuff and chemically react with its dangerous properties overnight for 12 hours, that's got my attention because it's a household task that's got risk and danger.
Yeah, look, I understand what you're saying there. For me, though, I'm quite sensitive to smell. I don't like the idea of that. And there's something about the angle you have to get to. I don't like the angle you have to put your body at to clean the oven. Maybe it's my hips. I don't enjoy it as an experience. I like a clean oven, but I'm out.
There is so much of what we've talked about in the first 5 minutes of this episode that says to me that you are not a man that enjoys preparation. So many of the things that we've talked about can be solved by proper preparation. Okay. An effective run of the dishwasher is done by taking time in the loading. Then you can enjoy the fact that it's working its magic. But with the oven, okay, look, everyone knows where an oven is. There is a certain position you've got to get in. But before I clean the oven, I was sat there thinking, right, okay, what is going to be the perfect clothing for me to do this in? And I thought to myself, well, it's got to be jogging bottoms, first of all, because I live normally in shorts all the time. I want my central heating on at a temperature where I can live in shorts. But I did the oven in jogging bottoms because they were going to cover up all of my legs in case any of the caustic solution got on my legs. And then I put on a long cycling shirt, okay, a long sleeve cycling shirt. So I'm thinking, right, that's going to cover everything, but it's not going to be too hot because I'm going to be doing something that's quite extraneous. But all of it is loose clothing, and I could spread out on the floor and get in exactly the right position to clean the oven with my marigolds that were up over the end of the cycling shorts. Chris, cleaning the oven's fantastic. Don't let the position you have to get in put you off.
I want to see a video of you spread eagled across the floor in jogging bottoms, a cycling shirt, and marigolds. That's. Did you have goggles on as well?
I didn't. And do you know what? That's actually, having had emergency surgery for an eye issue a year ago, I know what it's like to be in eye pain. And I took an unnecessary risk by not having my eyes covered when I was cleaning the oven. That's a very good point.
Okay, well, look, Rich, I love the enthusiasm that you put into that. I genuinely think that people who do clean the oven are doing God's work. I fully support this. There is absolutely no way I'm doing it.
Well, that's a good job because I've got a question that I need to ask you. All right, Sunday evening, around about 5:30, there's a knock on the door. You open the door. Hello, it's me. I'm stood there in jogging bottoms, cycling shirt, long sleeved, with marigolds, and I've got 2 boxes of Oven Pride, and I'm offering to clean your oven. What do you say, and how much do you pay me, or what do you pay me in return for cleaning the Skinner oven?
I'd pay you in raspberries. For a start.
It's out of season. You're paying me in out of season raspberries.
Still got some in the freezer. I've still got some in the freezer.
Chris, the other side of it is it's a task. There's so many tasks that you can do around the house that when it's done, it's not as if someone could come along and go, oh, you've done that. Well done. Thank you. But when you've cleaned the oven, and someone opens up the oven or takes out an oven tray and it's sparkling and it looks incredible and there's no longer a smell whilst the oven is on, that's a task where you can literally bathe in the glory. Don't bathe in the detritus that comes out of the oven. That's rather poisonous. But it's transformative. You can after the fruits of your labours, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I've done an amazing job there.
I fully support you. I think you've done great stuff this week. And look, I think it's important that there are different types of people in this world who enjoy different types of things. If we were all the same, it would be boring. And if I was on here going, oh, totally, I'm going to go and clean the oven now, I think that would be boring. So congratulations, Rich. You could talk to me for another 45 minutes about how much you enjoyed it.
I probably
still
could.
have the it. Yeah, I'm sure you could.
Well, you hear it here first. Should my broadcasting and podcasting career come to an end earlier than I want it to, I would work the rest of my working life with a mobile oven cleaning service. Don't know what it would be called, but if you've got an idea what it could be called, mildlyinformedpod@gmail.com for any oven-based puns. 5-star review, by the way, for Oven Pride as a product. We're very happy for Mildly Informed to be sponsored by Oven Pride, should they wish to come on board and support this venture rather than become Patreons.
We could also do with some sponsorship from the Starbar Corporation because we keep sending our arse donglers Star Bars. If you want to sign up and become an arse dongler, we send you 2 Star Bars in the post.
Mildlyinformedpod@patreon.com if you wish to become one of our top tier Patreon followers.
Mildlyinformed@patreon.com.
Mildly
Is that an
Informed
email
Pod.
address?
Mildlyinformedpod@patreon.com.
I don't know what that is. Is that a web address? Is that an email address?
Send something to it and see what happens.
That seems to me like you're doing some live radio. You're going into the break. You're like, I need to wrap this up. Not quite sure what I just said.
I'm doubling down on it. Oh, dear. 5-star review for oven cleaning. Chris, what's been going on in your world this week?
Oh, I spent my Thursday morning listening to a man talk about cleaning the oven for 45 minutes. Other than that, weirdly, you touched very closely on something that I'm going to review right now. When you talked about some of the clothes that you were wearing. So what I'm going to review for you this week is, you know, I'm a cyclist, yeah? You know, I enjoy cycling. I do sportives. You know what a sportive is?
What's a sportive?
It's like a cycling race, and in like a cycling race, but they don't generally call them races because legally you're not technically allowed to race on UK roads. But it's like a large gathering of cyclists, an organised event, and so I've got one on Sunday, and it's a long one. It's 100 miles, and I'm very excited about it. And I would like to review your reaction to the fact that I'll be coming to Ware, your hometown, but I won't be stopping to say hello.
What, you'll be cycling through my hometown?
My race starts and finishes in Ware.
Incredible. Whereabouts?
So it's SG12, Rich, Priory Street, the Allenbury Sports and Social Club.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Yep. So I will be turning up there at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I will be riding for around 6 hours. And then I will be getting back there, getting in my car and driving home.
So could I possibly turn up to like wave you off with a saucepan and a spoon or something or other, clang some noise? Would that be possible? What's the done thing for sportives?
People don't tend to do that because the people doing it aren't professional athletes. But if you want to be there at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, Rich, what a moment that could be. What a moment that could be.
What time would I have to be there to cheer you home? Because surely after a 100-mile ride, you'd like to see my face.
Yeah, well, I think I will finish around 2 p.m.
Is there any way that someone can track a person on a sportive whilst they're doing it?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. I can share you my live location via my Garmin app or via Apple, and you could watch me pootle around the Essex and Hertfordshire countrysides to your heart's content.
I'm really excited by this. I mean, I know this is something for you to review, Chris,
Yes.
and leave us mildly informed, but I want to review the concept of the sportive. I think it sounds fantastic, and I feel really personally very invested in it. So I'd like to give it at least a 4-star review.
Well, I mean, my review of the actual event, I might hold back until after I've finished it, because you never know what impact it might have on me and my body. I can tell you that I'll be going through some lovely, lovely village lanes. Let's see if you know the names of these places.
Okay, cool.
Widford.
Yes, I've cycled through it myself. Steep hill.
Perry Green.
Nah.
Much Haddam.
Yeah, beautiful through there. I've stopped and bought a boost in the newsagents.
Oh, lovely. Furno Pelham.
Oh my God, yeah, I've cycled out there. That's quite a long way out, Chris. It's out towards Bishop Stortford.
Thaxted.
Yeah, out towards Stansted.
Great Sampford.
Nah.
Cornish Hall End.
I think you can get a cream for that.
Finchingfield.
Definitely get a cream for that.
So these are the places I'm going to be visiting.
Wow.
And it is mine to... I felt that I need to use this show to tell you that even though I was going to be in your hometown, I was not in a million years going to be stopping at your house to say hello because I've got to get home.
No, you're quite right. You're not going to stop at my house, but I will have something for you at the end of your sportive.
Right.
I will have something for you at the end of your sportive because you'll be tired.
I would look, if you want to be my support crew, Rich, if you want to turn up at Furno Pelham, if you want to turn up at Alsbury Car Park and Sporting Grounds,
Allenbury's,
mate, there you go. What a wonderful moment.
Oh, wow, Chris, very excited. And obviously not everybody has the chance of being at the car park to wave you in and wave you out. But we will no doubt let them know how you got on next week on Mildly Informed.
So I give your reaction to me telling you that I'm coming to your hometown and not stopping into your house 3 stars. In that I hoped that you would quite enjoy the fact that I was coming to where. But a part of me is slightly disappointed that you're not angry that I'm not coming to say hello.
I like the fact that I've surprised you with the fact that I want to be out there and wave you off.
I like the fact that you want to meet me in a car park.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it genuinely, we get met in a few car parks over the years. What was that? We met in one very strange car park once for some... What on earth was the hack that we met in a train station car park out of the way? We recorded ourselves on a travel hack. And I can't even remember what the hack was, why we met. I think it was a one-dayer. Oh my God.
That wasn't the London Overground, was it?
Because I think we started that early, didn't we?
Yeah. I remember us meeting in a car park at South Mims Services.
Definitely wasn't that one because we still have the fines to show for that. Yeah. Okay. Well, the fact is we've met enough times in a car park that we can't remember why. Congratulations.
Let's have a message. Let's have a message from our sponsors. I'm gonna die. Hopefully, be back in a sec.
Rich, after a slightly chaotic first part of the show, I'm sure you're going to bring some calm by telling us what else has happened to you this week.
Yesterday, I hosted a charity quiz, a sports quiz for a fantastic charity that help people at risk of homelessness in London called The Passage. Chris, you'll be very jealous of the venue of said quiz. It was being held. It wasn't a car park. Couldn't have been further from it. It was being held in the pavilion at Lord's Cricket Club.
Wow.
Well,
the actual
MCC.
Pavilion.
The actual pavilion, not Lord's Cricket Club. Lord's is just the ground. The MCC is the club that plays there. Chris, it was in the long room.
Oh, my God. That is, that's one of the most privileged things, in the world of cricket. I mean, slightly to my frustration, a little bit elitist. But to let the oiks in is an absolutely fantastic thing. How was your experience there? Did you have to wear a tie?
It was a black tie event. Yeah, I had to be suited up to host it with Bush, who I do the radio show with on Absolute Radio. Now, he's not as such a cricket fan as you well know. So I was trying to explain to him quite how reverential the long room is at Lord's. I described it as the most prestigious room and venue in the world of cricket. It's the last room that you walk through before you set foot onto the hallowed turf of the home of cricket. So amazing venue for a sports quiz and 3-course dinner to raise money for a fine charity. And we were hosting the night. We weren't actually having to therefore run the quiz. There was a quiz company in that were there to do that. Our job was to keep the charity night rattling along, make sure people were taking part in the auction and all that kind of stuff, which meant that we were clear to take part in the quiz, which was the main part of the night at the venue.
Yeah.
And we won it.
What a fix.
That's the really awkward part of it. It's the really awkward part. It's the really awkward part of it because everyone's shouting "fix" at the end of it. We had absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever.
They were.
But what a look at the end of it, to walk out of the Lord's Pavilion dressed in black tie. And because we'd won the quiz, we were presented with medals that were on sort of like a red chain. I look, because of the venue and the way I was dressed, and then walking out with like a red chain and a medal on it, I looked like I was coming out of some, I don't know, Masonic hall or something. It was quite the look. What is it about quizzing that just draws you in? Because I thought that I was going to be there just to host a night and try and do the best that we could for the charity with their auction and raise money. But you just get drawn into a quiz. I don't think anybody can help but get drawn into a quiz, even if you're sat there and thinking, I don't like quizzes. And then you just sat there. And then when you hear a question or you see a picture sheet and you think, that's that person, that is, or you know the answer, even if you're not taking part, there's a reflex in us that just makes you want to sort of lean across and go, Trevor Francis. What is it?
First £1 million player?
Yeah, that was the question. Yeah. Okay, here's another question from last night because it was a sporting quiz. Can you rank these 3 balls in size from the smallest to the largest? A regulation football, a regulation basketball, and a regulation 10-pin bowling ball. See,
bowling
this is my point.
Smallest, then a football, then a basketball.
You aced it. That's really, really good. But that's my point, Chris. All right, you weren't expecting to be quizzed, but there's a part of our brain. I swear, there is a part of our brain that just flicks immediately into quiz mode. The world could be burning around you, but you need to get that quiz question right.
I'll tell you what, I've just had 2 dopamine hits, Trevor Francis and bowling balls. My brain is now like, give me another dopamine hit. Give me
do you want another one?
Another one, right. I want a hit. Give me a hit.
You want another one? A couple of years ago, Forbes magazine did research and described which sport, if you take part in it for half an hour, is the best for heart rate, flexibility, fitness, and well-being. Forbes magazine, so no normal rag. Half an hour of participation at this sport is better than any other.
I feel it's too obvious an answer, but I'm going to say swimming.
It's not swimming. And I got this answer correct last night.
I have one more guess if that's acceptable.
Of course it is.
And you said sports, not exercise, correct?
Correct, yeah.
It's going to be super random, but it's going to be one that gets the heart rate up and is going to be good for your coordination. So it's going to be something like badminton or table tennis. Badminton.
I feel like you would have got it if I gave you more. It's squash.
Okay, so a racket sport. That's I get that because it's energy and it's coordination and it's sideways movements. I believe that.
One other fact that I came out with last night, can't do this as a question because you've just kind of guessed the sport. But one question was, what Olympic sport? What Olympic sport?
What is an Olympic sport?
What Olympic sport is the fastest sport involving the fastest speed? And it was badminton.
Yeah.
Because shuttlecock can move at 300 miles an hour. I thought that was amazing. And obviously, it tails off from that quite quickly, but 300 miles an hour, that's amazing.
Yeah, I like playing badminton. I haven't played badminton for ages. I used to be quite good at badminton. Have you played before?
I have, and whenever I've done it, I've enjoyed it, but I've never played it for a long enough period, for it to get regular. But I reckon I'd be bloody good at it if I did.
It's a 4-star sport for me. I would really love it. It's definitely not a 5 because you can't really play properly outdoors. And for me, the best a 5-star sport has to be played outdoors.
I'd agree.
But badminton of the indoor sports is up there for me. I digress.
If we were to form a pub quiz team, and you kind of need more than 2 people in one team, but if we were to form a pub quiz team, I genuinely think we could travel the country and take quizzes down. We'd probably get banned because we'd be winning everything.
Because we're so clever.
Well, yes, but I feel like you and I have the potential to be such a good quiz team because we cover so many different factors of knowledge.
Mildly.
But that's all you need. That's all you need.
We had a bit on the show last week that got a lot of comments on social media. Not because people agreed or disagreed with us, but because the fact that you were uttering was completely wrong. And everyone was insistent that Donald Trump was not pranked. It was a member of his own team accidentally pressing the button.
No way. No, that's just all the MAGA people wanting to defend him. He was absolutely pranked.
Okay. There we go. I will clip this up and see what happens next week. Rich,
Chris,
what are you reviewing here?
Quizzing.
Generally, taking part in quizzes.
Taking part in quizzes. I think quizzing is one of the best social activities there is. You're out there with friends, you're away from tablets and phones, you're just using your brain, you're competing, anyone can do it. You don't need to be fit to take part in a quiz. Quizzing, 5 stars, particularly when you win. Chris, not everyone can win pub quizzes anyway. Not that this was in a pub, it was in the Pavilion at Lord's. But what else have you had on your mind this week?
Away from the boozy lifestyle of London's elite, Rich, I've been at home doing a bit of cooking, and I have a new favourite flavour, a new taste sensation, a thing that I think is the yummiest thing for me to eat as a midweek meal. And may I share this with you?
You know that when it comes to food, I am all ears. You opened my eyes and my taste buds to the Chinese dip that I can't ever remember.
Tell me its name.
Long doc or something or other.
Lao Gan Ma, but close enough.
Oh, there we go. So what's your new taste sensation? Is it something that you've created or something that you've discovered?
Hat tip to Deliciously Ella on this one. It's a sweet potato roasted in the oven. But I'm not here. It's wrapped in foil. I'm not here to roast the sweet potato.
If only you had a clean oven. If only you had a clean oven. Yes.
Indeed. And then with that, and this is also not what I'm reviewing, there is you fry up some black beans, some onions, and some chili. And that goes on. So it's like beans on a baked potato, if you like.
Sweet potato.
That's what I'm reviewing. I am reviewing the dressing. Rich, this dressing I'm about to talk to you about is the tastiest dressing in the world. I literally just want to eat spoons of this dressing. And it's so simple. I'm salivating just talking to you about it. Take 2 teaspoons of tahini, the juice of a whole lime, 1 teaspoon of honey, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, mix. If it's a bit thick, you can add a little bit of water and then just pour that on. And I kid you not, it is the tastiest thing you will eat this year. It is sweet. It is tangy. It's got the tahini kind of about it as well. If you care about your health, this is a very healthy dinner too. But I wouldn't care, mate, if this was like the least healthy thing I ate. The fact that it's healthy too is purely a bonus for me. It is yum. What's your reaction?
Does it have a name?
Yeah, I'm going to call it Skinner dressing.
What else would you suggest? I love the idea of things that are sweet, but also not just savoury, but like almost a little bit acidic, as you described. So, yeah, I love the sound of it. What else would you suggest it would go on or go with? Could you described it as a dressing? Could you use it as a dip?
You can use it as a dip. If you keep it thicker, you can use it as a dip. You're a man who knows his way around a fajita, aren't you, Rich?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Drizzle some of that on your fajitas. Oh my God. Inside the mix with your salsa and whatever else you put in there, put some of that in. Any type of salad, drizzle it all around there. Egg and chips. Maybe not egg and chips. Drizzle it all around there. Oh, actually, I would try it on egg and chips, actually.
Well, no, you see, because I'm wondering whether, like, you know, chips or potato wedges would work if it was thicker as a dip.
Potato wedges. Yeah, potato wedges more than chips. For reasons I can't quite explain, potato wedges are over chips. Definitely. Oh, so good.
Wow. In the notes on the YouTube channel, if people are watching our YouTube channel, maybe if they're listening, they might want to go to this. Could I suggest today that in those notes, you actually put down the recipe? Because people like myself are probably thinking that happened too quickly when he gave us that earlier. I'd like to try that Skinner dressing, which is obviously what it's called now. It would be great if it was in some kind of written form.
Yeah, I'm going to have to credit Deliciously Ella, though, which can't be her real name. Surely it's Ella Deliciously.
See, one of those sounds a little bit rude, doesn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If it was me, I'd say Deliciously by Ella. Or Delicious by Ella.
That's not what she calls it. Okay, you got one guess at Deliciously Ella's surname, okay?
Okay.
One guess. I'm going to have my guess as well. I'm going to get, okay, I've got, I'm going to guess she has a double barrel surname.
I'm going to suggest that it's a surname she's embarrassed by the fact that she doesn't use it. So she's putting something in front of her first name. So I think it's probably something like Froggatt.
She should make yogurt with that name.
But she wants to make dressings. There's the problem.
Yeah. It's Mills, formerly Woodward, sadly.
Oh, well, what letdown that is. Let's hope the dressing itself is nicer. And hopefully you won't have some kind of legal action because of the fact you want to rename it Skinner dressing.
I'm quoting it as a Deliciously Ella recipe.
Okay,
look
fair
on YouTube
enough.
Now.
It looks amazing. Sounds amazing. I'd love to try it. 5-star review from you. What a surprise.
Love it, mate. I'd make you some now. In fact, I'll bring it with you. Bring it with me with the raspberries on Sunday.
Thank you very much. So obviously now the deal for me cleaning your oven at 5:30 on Sunday afternoon is now frozen raspberries and some Skinner dressing made by Ella Woodward, Nee Mills.
Well, that was a good outbreak. Rich, we've obviously run over again, but we absolutely cannot go without you giving us some gold. Give us one more thing that happened to you this week.
Big fan of Ted Lasso on Apple TV. Have you seen it as a football fan yourself?
I have watched every second of it, and I think you do not need to be a football fan if you've never seen this. My wife loved it as well. I know everyone I know who's ever watched it has loved it.
I came late to Ted Lasso. It had been out for a long, long time. A lot of people were telling me, "Oh, you like football? You'd like Ted Lasso." I'm thinking, I don't need to see that. Yeah, because I like football, I think I'm going to find this a struggle. But Natalie, my wife, had wanted to watch it, and so eventually we started watching it, and we raced through all of the seasons. I've seen every single thing. I loved it. You're quite right. So this isn't a review of Ted Lasso. It's just me agreeing that it's an absolutely brilliant, beautiful, it just restores you. It's light and shades, great telly. I loved it so much that on Sunday, I decided to drive the family across London to go and visit Richmond, which is where Ted Lasso was filmed. Now, I live kind of northeast London at a push, but it's really north of. And Richmond, if you don't know much about London, if you're listening internationally, is kind of southwest London. So I'm having to drive completely across the capital city to go and visit Richmond. There couldn't be a less convenient place. But such is my love for Ted Lasso, I wanted to go. We didn't have much going on that Sunday morning. So I suggested, why don't we go and visit Richmond? Always said that it looks really, really cool. And I wanted to go and visit all of the locations that are in the show. And I've never, ever done this before. I've never been that into something where I've wanted to go and visit where they do it. And my only motivation was to go and have pictures taken sitting on the bench outside the pub that Ted and Beard go to, going inside said pub and having a drink where Ted drinks, even though he's a fictional character, walking down the beautiful little passageway where Ted's got his flat. All of those things. Actually also visiting the Ted Lasso shop that doesn't feature in the show, but obviously Richmond have decided to latch onto. And I did drop a little bit of money in there because I am a sucker. But what am I reviewing? I'm not reviewing Ted Lasso. It's been out there for ages and people know it's a great show. I'm reviewing the concept of, I guess really it's just untraditional tourism. If you're wanting to go and see something like that because you just want to, why not? Tourism doesn't have to be about Stonehenge. It doesn't have to be about Sorrento or some beautiful European destination. It can be about a borough in London that featured in a TV show. And I wonder whether you've ever gone to visit something that isn't necessarily traditional tourism, but just because you wanted to see it.
That's a great question, Rich. And I have done this thing probably accidentally on a number of occasions where I've gone, oh my God, that's the place where this thing happens. For example, a lot of TV shows get shot around me. And I've gone, oh, there's the cafe where someone got shot in Top Boy. And so around where I live, I've done quite a bit of that. And then I have been walking somewhere halfway between where we live is Epping Forest. And if you're familiar with Monty Python, there is just the woodland, super generic woodland, where the Black Knight is slain in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I had no idea that was in Epping Forest. Wow.
At Loughton Brook. So yeah, and I've been there, I've gone, oh, that's quite cool. The thing is, when you're there, it's just like, it's just the woods. It's just the woods. but the memory and the association with it is actually like a real boost. You get down on your knees, you say, it's just a scratch, and on you go.
You have to do it.
Full credit to you, Rich, because from where you live to Richmond, for people who've never really been to London before, I cannot stress London is not just a very big city, but it takes a long time to get around London. To the extent where you live now, the time it would take you to get to Richmond on some days, you could comfortably be well into the Midlands. You could be in an entirely different region of the UK in the same time it takes you to just get like from east to west London. And
to get me there in the morning, it took me an hour and a quarter, and I had to do the North Circular. To then come back at lunchtime, it was an hour and a half, and I had to go around the M25 because that was quicker, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's like it is a real pilgrimage. The one thing I feel that you missed out on that journey, though, is you should have done the full 360 circumnavigation of London, like you and I have done in the past. But to complete the tour, so you went all the way to Crystal Palace's stadium, Selhurst Park, an entirely different part of London, and then you could have done the full jobby.
It's the one part of Ted Lasso that maybe the part of me that's a little bit on the spectrum always struggled with, is that they used Crystal Palace's stadium for the match footage. But then there was other times where they made out that they were in the stadium and it was very evidently not Crystal Palace's stadium. I think it was Hampton and Richmond Stadium or something or other. It was so obviously two different stadiums, and I always struggled to get past that.
I gave them a pass and just assumed it was the training ground. And that's maybe because Tottenham Hotspur's training ground facilities are so good and mimic a real stadium so well I just accepted that might be the case.
Go visit the places that you want to visit. It might not be tourism. Go do it. I loved that morning. 5-star review.
I've got nothing to say.
Of course you haven't, because Chris, we've reached the end of proceedings. If you are not a patron, we love that you've listened. We love that you've invested 40 minutes of your time, but you are missing out because there's extra. If you are a patron, go find us on Patreon, Mildly Informed Pod. We're heading there rapidly right now. Chris has nothing to say to you right now because he'd love you to become a patron. I'll say see you next week. To the rest of you, see you on Patreon.